The field was a graveyard of physics, buckling under the weight of a singularity that had clawed its way into our reality. I staggered through the fracturing earth, my every breath a battle against the warped air. In my hands, I clutched the artifact, the only thing that could seal the wound. It was a wormhole relic, a Mobius strip of impossible metal, pulsing with a light that seemed to devour the shadows around it. This relic wasn't just a key. It was a library, humming with the lost information of dead timelines. I reached the vault, its iron door groaning open as if in pain. Inside, the air was cold still. The singularity's influence was weaker here, but the pressure in my skull was immense. I knew what I had to do. As my fingers made contact with the relic's control interface, a jolt shot up my arm, not of electricity, but of pure, terrifying emptiness. The drain began. It was a silent scream that ripped through my mind. Poor hawking radiation, the whisper of a black hole's death, was pouring from the artifact. But instead of devouring energy, it was devouring me. My essence, my memories, my very soul were being erased, one quantum bit at a time, and in their place, visions. Necrotic, horrifying images flooded the void, pulled from the hellish branches of reality we had fought so hard to sever. My past began to unravel, not just fading, but being rewritten with malice. A sun-drenched memory of my 7th birthday, my father lifting me onto his shoulders, twisted into a scene of abject horror. His face wasn't his own. It was a mask of flayed skin, and his laughter was a death rattle. The park became a killing field, the other children not playing, but being ritually slaughtered, their joy replaced with the gurgle of their last breaths. My research triumphs, the moments of pure intellectual discovery, were warped into grotesque autopsies of failure. I saw myself standing over my own dissected theories, each one a mangled corpse representing a universe I had failed to save. The visions weren't just images, they were sensations. I relived eviscerations, feeling the cold steel slide through flesh. I experienced flayings, the agonizing peel of skin from muscle. I drowned in oceans of blood, the coppery taste filling my lungs. Each time my mind should have shattered. Each time my physical form should have given out. Some perverse law of quantum immortality kicked in, pulling me back from the brink. It sustained my body, but only as a hollow vessel, a container for an ever-expanding void. The existential gnawing at my core was worse than any physical pain, a hunger for a self that no longer existed. The drain wasn't confined to me. Its influence leaked out, a psychic contagion spreading through the research outpost. The minds of my colleagues, the brightest people I had ever known, began to crumble. I watched through a haze as Marcus, our lead temporal physicist, clawed at his own face, screaming a single looping question. Who am I? He tore at his skin until his features were gone. A mask of raw, weeping meat, trying to dig out the person he could no longer remember. Others fared no better. They became shambling automatons, their eyes vacant, milky orbs staring at nothing. The emptiness inside them was a physical torment, and they tried to escape it in the most primal way possible. The rhythmic thud of skulls against concrete walls became the new heartbeat of the station. The vault, my sanctuary, morphed into a mausoleum. The sterile white walls were now weeping a black tar-like substance, and the air grew thick with the smell of ozone and decay. Spectral horrors began to manifest from the shimmering air. They were quantum ghosts, echoes of erased possibilities, and they all wore my face, decaying doppelgangers of me, their flesh sloughing off bone, their eyes burning with a cold, dead light. They swarmed around me, whispering the forgotten atrocities of timelines I had pruned. They spoke of worlds I had sacrificed, of civilizations I had condemned to oblivion to save our own. They forced me to taste the rot of those erased souls, the bitterness of forgotten sins. My identity dissolved like sugar in water. Who was AIhorror? The name was a sound, a meaningless vibration in the air. Was she the scientist, the daughter, the savior? Each concept was a ghost, a faded photograph with a face scratched out. All that remained was a primal, screaming terror. I was a shell, a puppet dangling on the strings of cosmic amnesia, my screams echoing in a mind that was no longer mine. The universe wasn't just taking my memories, it was taking the very concept of me. Been the deepest abyss of my vanishing self. A single, final thought sparked. It was a fragment of the woman I used to be. A final act of defiance against the encroaching void. A philosophical query born from a lifetime of studying the cosmos. Without us, the universe forgets its cruelty. We are its memory, its conscience. But in forgetting, in erasing the pain and the horror, do we become the cruelty ourselves? Is a clean slate worth the price of ignorance? Is a painless existence, devoid of history, truly living? The question hung in the void for a nanosecond, a flicker of light in an infinite darkness, and then the drain surged. The relic pulsed one last time, a wave of absolute nothingness washing over me, and even that final, defiant thought was obliterated. The scream stopped. The shell fell silent. The universe was clean again.